Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to your messages for the week. My name is Deborah Jane Sutton, and today is Sunday, the 9th of October, 2022. You notice how even when I know what the day is, I still have to look at the corner of my computer to double check. So we're going to see what the messages are on the cards this week. So 9th of October, if you we have a full moon today, and if you haven't seen the messages for the month of October, I will put a link in the description and the video in the end screen, because they were all about not caring what other people think. Okay, and I think it's a really important one. And it's not just about not caring what other people think about you, right? That's obviously important because we know that everybody is a reflection of a part of you. So the parts of you that are doubting yourself will get reflected back to you in people outside of you doubting you. So you know it's all about you. But this is more, it was more about, because I used the chart as well, the scale of consciousness in that video. And I really urge you to look at it if you haven't seen it already, because it was talking about not giving a about what other people think in general. It was the realization that other people are not creating your reality. Only you are creating your reality. They're creating their reality. Their choices, their thoughts are putting them on certain timelines, and your choices and your thoughts and your reactions and your emotions and the frequency that you're vibrating at is what's putting you on your timelines. So if you want to go on higher timelines, if you want to go on more prosperous, more loving, more abundant timelines where it's more joy and peace and harmony, then those emotions, you need to create those emotions from within you. And when you care about what other people think in general, you know, someone thinks differently to you, let them. I'm seeing a lot of, you know, people thinking they've got to change the way somebody else thinks. We can't just go around telling people they're on the wrong timeline. Everyone's on the right timeline for them. Does that make sense? Just worry about yourself. Well, don't worry, because worry's not good. That's a low frequency as well. But just focus on your own timeline, your own thoughts, your own frequency, the emotions that are accompanying your thoughts. That's a really important one as well. Focus on the emotions that are accompanying your thoughts. And if you have got some thoughts that are accompanied by negative emotions, they're the thoughts you want to change, aren't they? Regardless of what other people are thinking. Okay? So we don't need to keep changing. We cannot change somebody else's opinion by telling them ours. Nobody ever changes their opinion by listening to somebody else's. People can only ever change their own opinion and their own thought and their own belief through experience. Now, admittedly, people can have a little internal experience when they see stimuli from outside of them, of course. Okay, but their higher self is going to guide them towards the right stimuli. Okay, so I'm not saying don't share stuff. I think this has come up before. What I'm saying, what's coming up strongly for the month of October, is don't get yourself into a lower frequency by sharing stuff. Don't get yourself into a state of frustration, annoyance, hatred, despair, anxiety, you know, fed upness, I want to say. Don't get yourself into those frequencies in order to convince somebody else of your opinion or of what you think is right for them. I'm not concerned about them. I'm concerned about you. It's you watching the video. We've got to keep our frequency as high as possible. And if convincing other people lowers your frequency, then that's not the way to convince them. We need to convince them through example, through doing what you love, keeping your frequency as high as possible, sharing that love, that joy, sharing that creative flow, sharing whatever it is you're inspired to share from a place of abundance, from a place of an overflowing heart, from a place of joy and peace and harmony that you have cultivated within you. That's what you're sharing with others. That's what's going to raise their frequency. And by raising their frequency, they're going to raise out of whatever frequency they're in, whatever timeline they're on. That's how to help them. And that's how to help yourself. So, you know, we can share stuff because I'm doing it myself right now, but you can see that it brings me joy. I just do it for myself because it brings me joy. You know, I love doing it. Find something like that that brings you joy. And if it helps others, that's fantastic. But what I'm focusing on, or what the cards in October, in the October video, were focusing on, was not lowering yourself to get into an argument or to get frustrated or to any of those emotions in order to try and convince other people of your way of thinking or a different way of thinking or a healthier way of thinking for them. And I understand when you love people, you want them to have a healthier way of thinking. I get that. But it's just that, have you ever changed your opinion because somebody else told you theirs? No, probably not. Unless you were already on the verge and they may have stimulated you, motivated you, or triggered you in some way to go and do some research and what have you, maybe. But generally speaking, people have to experience. People have to experience. I mean, you know, there's so many times when I don't even share, you know, why I think the way I do, because I understand that people haven't had the experiences that I've had. So people can't think like me, can they? And people can't change my opinion because I've had experiences that has molded and formed my opinions and my beliefs. And you can't tell me I haven't had those experiences. And if you haven't had those experiences, you're not going to have the beliefs and thoughts that I've molded from them, are you? So that's fine. So I don't need to persuade you of my thoughts and opinions, but I'm confident of them in myself, if that makes sense. But people need to experience stuff for themselves. They're not going to change without experiencing something themselves. It's not through just listening to other people's. I mean, I've just gone off on one again on that, but that is the energy of October. It seems to be the energy of what's going on in October, which is why I've gone off on that one already. But anyway, 3 cards came out. They're face down. I have no idea what they are. Let's dive in. There's your happy families. And I think this is connected because most people, you know, the ones that you love are the ones that you want to change the beliefs of. You want them to have healthier beliefs. It's because we love them that we want them to rise up that chart that I show in the October video. Happy families. Emotionally fulfilling, spiritually guided. And sometimes we're spiritually guided, yes, to share stuff and spiritually guided to share our knowledge and our passions. I get it. Sometimes, and I'm often, believe it or not, spiritually guided to shut up. It's true. I could be working on something and I could just get the message, shut up now. Let them absorb what's been said. So if you're having conversations with family members, people that you love, yes, find that line. Because when you're sharing from your passion and you're sharing from your heart, then it's going to bring you joy and you're going to be in a high frequency and then everything's hunky-dory, right? But as soon as that emotion starts dropping, you'll feel the energy falling away. You'll feel yourself go from an expanded state to a contracted state. And when that happens, you know that your words are going to be lost. Your words are going to be pointless. And that's when you're going to be spiritually guided to shut up. And remember that it's better to be kind than it is to be right. And when we first said that, I have got a video on that. I'll put a link in the description and the video in the end screen of a chat I had with Liz Nagel about it's better to be kind than it is to be right. When we first hear that expression, we think it's referring to be kind to others rather than convincing them that you're right. It's not just about being kind to others. It's, remember, bring it back to you all the time. Be kind to yourself. Because when you get into these conversations with people and you start getting frustrated and angry and bitter and full of despair and anxiety for them and worry for them and all of this, that's not kind to yourself. They are a reflection of a part of you. So loving them is loving yourself. But love yourself enough not to experience those emotions within you. So it's more important to be kind than it is to be right. But also it's more important to be kind to yourself than it is to prove that you're right. So when you can feel your energy going into contraction, stop it. Be kind to yourself and love yourself enough to be kind to them, because that's going to keep your frequency high. Do you see what I'm getting at? It's not about people outside of you. It's always about you. So love yourself and be kind to yourself. So when you feel those negative emotions coming because you're hitting your head against a brick wall, you feel, don't you, sometimes that you're hitting your head against a brick wall when you're trying to have conversations like this with people. Don't hit your head against a brick wall, because that's not very kind to yourself, is it? When we come from a place of kindness, random acts of kindness make us feel good. That's why we do them. It makes us feel good. And it makes them feel good. It's a win-win-win situation. And that's what this is. The 10 of Cups, look how happy this is. This is emotionally fulfilled. It is spiritually guided. You can tell from the rays. It's being aware of your emotions. So when your emotions start going into the contracted state, you know to start thinking something else, say something else, do something else, shift the energy, get off that topic, whatever it is, and start thinking about something, that's kinder to you, something that's going to bring out that divine love from within you. Start talking about your passions, your joys, your love for things, your love for people. And also this is about your intuition. Follow your intuition, because you'll know when the right time is. If you listen to your intuition, you'll know when the right time is to speak and when the right time is to shut up. Let's look at the Fool. This is a new journey for you, isn't it? This is a new journey for you. This is an interesting one. Self-expression. A lot of people are thinking, yeah, but it's me, it's my authentic self, it's what I think, it's what I believe, so I have to share it with others. I'm going to say to you, is that true? Is that true? Do you have to share it with others? It's what you think, it's what you believe. Just because it's like I said before, if someone asks me a question and it's a loaded spiritual question, right? You don't always want to come out of the spiritual closet. If they're not going to understand, if they're not going to understand your answer, if they're not going to really understand what you're saying, which they won't, because they haven't had the experiences that you've had, they're not at the level of consciousness that you're at. So they're not going to be able to resonate with what you say. So why waste your breath? And why waste the opportunity when you can say something fun, say something kind, say something that they can resonate with? But there's a part of you that feels like you're being shallow. And there's a part of you that feels like you're not being heard. And there's a part of you that feels uncomfortable to do that because you want to be accepted. You want to have approval. You want people to understand who you really are. And that's what makes us push and push. And I remember when I was younger being really disappointed when friends and family didn't understand what I was saying or didn't get how I felt about things. And it makes you feel, like not heard, not approved of, so it's important. But where do you get that self-love from? Where do you get that self-approval from? From yourself. When you understand that everybody outside of you is a part of you, and that we are so beautiful in our unity with our uniqueness. We have this uniqueness, each and every one of us, that makes the unity feel more whole. So it's okay not to be understood by everybody. It's okay not to be appreciated by everybody. It's okay. It's okay because it's the uniqueness of everybody that's bringing this unity together. Because if we were all the same, you wouldn't even notice, would we? I mean, it wouldn't work if we were all the same. We're all unique fractals of source. And it's exploring our uniqueness and exploring how we're unique compared to others. And this is a really important point because people talk about comparing as being a negative thing. Comparing is what we do day in, day out. And we learn so much about ourselves from comparing with others. Comparing is not the problem. The problem is when you compare yourself with others and then you make a judgment. And you make a judgment that someone is better than you, or you are better than them, or their way is better, or your way is better. That's a judgment. That's what we're learning to release. But the actual comparison is fine. It's like saying there's a blue car, there's a red car. You know, I prefer the blue car. I'm going to buy the blue car. That's fine. No judgment against the red car. It's fine. You know, you can just look at two things. You can look at yourself and someone else, and you can hear them speaking, and you don't resonate with what they're saying. And you're like, but that's okay, because you're learning something about yourself. And you don't have to say it out loud, but you're learning, I don't think like that. I don't believe that. That's not my experience. And you're confirming. You're confirming your own thoughts, your own beliefs, and your own experiences. You're reflecting on who you are, and you're realizing who you are on a deeper level. Self-realization. We can realize more about ourselves by comparing ourselves with others. So when we compare ourselves with people that are not like us, they're completely different, we've learned something about ourselves. We can compare ourselves to somebody who's very similar. So we can meet somebody and click with them, and we can go, oh, I think like that. Oh, I believe that. I love doing that. Oh, that's my passion as well. Oh, I like that. And still we're comparing ourselves to them, and we're learning about ourselves. Yes, I like this. I do that. It's self-realization. You can experience self-realization by being similar to those around you, and also by being in contrast to those around you. But it's still self-realization. We're still learning about ourselves, aren't we? We're learning more about who we are, and we can do it in contrast to things that we hear or people that we talk to, or we can do it by being similar and relating to and resonating with those around us. It helps us know about more of who we are. Ah, yes, I find that interesting. So I've learned more about myself. Or I don't find that interesting. That's okay. I've learned something more about myself. Walk on by. You see what I'm getting at? This is a new avenue, a new adventure where you're using the experiences in your life to guide your self-realization, to aid your self-realization. And that's what it's all about, realizing who you really are. And you can do it by how you feel and how you think about the interactions and the experiences that you have. Does that make sense? And not caring. Look how much he doesn't care. He does not care what other people are thinking. He's spiritually guided. He's got his backpack. He's taking his fruition with him wherever he goes. He's got his loyal friends that he does resonate with, and off he goes. He's trying new avenues, new ways of thinking, new ways of being, new places to be, new places to work, new places to play. It's a fantastic new avenue. And he's the first major arcana. So this is a massive spiritual lesson. And that's why he's come up, because this is a new you going forward, accepting everybody around you, regardless of what they think. This is really the energy of the October reading as well, isn't it? Of course, we're still in October. So this is about not letting what other people think about anything affect your journey. He doesn't care what's going on in the rest of the world. It's only going to affect you if you draw it if you entangle with it. And that's something else that he wants. He's not entangling with lower frequencies. Look at him. He's got a song in his heart and a skip in his step. He's happy as Larry, whoever Larry is. And this is really important to understand, because there's so many things going on in the world. understanding your energy and how you can lower your frequency by entangling with lower frequencies. And what does it mean, entangling? It means focusing your consciousness on it, focusing your attention on it, talking about it, thinking about it, talking to other people about it. That's how we manifest. Now, what's important to understand, because I get people saying to me, it's going on in the world, this is going on in the world, you have to care about it because it's going on in the world. I think it's not going on in my world, because there are infinite timelines. I've said this so many times, so apologies to those old timers, but there are infinite timelines and everything exists. Everything exists in the now, everything, all the shitty stuff, everything, all the divine, beautiful stuff, everything in between, everything exists. And you get to experience that which you resonate with. And how do you resonate with something? You resonate with it by thinking about it, putting your consciousness on it, putting your attention on it, using your words to talk about it, reading about it, researching about it, sharing it with other people, visualizing it, imagining it. You know, that's how you feed it. You're giving it your consciousness, and your consciousness is the most powerful creator in your reality, and you are feeding it. So if you want a timeline of joy and fun, focus on what it is that you want to create. Do you want to create a healing center? Do you want to create an art gallery of your work? What do you want to create? A concert of your music? Focus on that. Focus on your instrument. Focus on your artwork. Focus on your card reading. Focus on whatever it is that you're good at. Focus on doing that. Focus on the positive people in your life. Focus on where you like to be. Focus on the healthy foods you like to eat. Focus on all the beautiful, joyful things, the flowers, the plants, you know, everything that's making you feel good. Focus your attention on that. Entangle with those higher frequencies. Entangle with the frequencies of joy. So you have a joyful experience. Then remember it. Bring it back into your mind's eye. Bring it back into the frequency of your body. Maintain it in your heart by just putting your memory. Remember it. Keep your frequency as high as possible. That's how you're entangling with higher frequencies. On the other end of the scale, you know, because that is happening somewhere. There is a timeline with pure joy. Okay, or you could look at this and say, this is happening in the world. Well, first of all, you saw it on a screen. So is it, I want to say, in the Byron Katie way, the way she says to people when she's working with them. I'll put a link in the description to the work by Byron Katie so you know what I'm talking about. But she'll say to people, is that true? Is that true? Is that really true? You don't really know. It's not in your reality, is it? And then you could say, oh, that's really selfish not to think about other people that are suffering. Well, if you entangle with it, you can open your heart with compassion. You can be on a different timeline and open your heart with compassion and send love, high frequency, divine love and compassion. Okay. But by focusing your consciousness on it, believing it, choosing to believe everything is bringing it into your reality. That's what I want to say. Choosing to believe everything is bringing it into your reality. And you're actually making it more physical in nature. You know how it works. You know, I'm not denying that there's evil in the world. So they go and put out a concept, a negative concept. Everybody talks about it, energizing it, energizing it, energizing it. Everyone thinks about it. They share it. They talk some more about it. The frequency lowers to that of fear. People talk more about it. And before you know it, it's created. You know, you've got to be that clever. The evil ones know how to manipulate energy. And I've said this before. I know the word manipulate sounds negative, but we need to learn how to manipulate energy for our benefit and for the benefit of humanity so that we can raise the consciousness level of the collective. So we need to manipulate energy positively, which means learning what entanglement means and learning how your consciousness is the most powerful thing and learning to just not worry about these things. They're still in existence because you're putting your attention on them. I hope that makes sense. Let's look at all dreams and wishes coming true. Put your attention on your dreams and your wishes. It's as simple as that. Put your attention on your dreams and your wishes. What beautiful cards. Happy families. Okay, you don't need to get into an argument. You don't need to share stuff if it's going to lower your frequency. You don't need to share stuff if it's going to lower someone else's frequency. We are not here to lower other people's frequency, and we are certainly not here to lower our own. Oh my goodness me. I sounded like a right school teacher then, didn't I? We're certainly not here to lower our own. Follow the fall. Yay. Just have fun. Just have fun. Cartwheels on the grass, which I did last week. Cartwheels on the grass. Just enjoy yourself. Focus on what it is that's bringing you joy. Stop worrying what other people are thinking, whether it be about you or about the world or about what's going on in the world. Just focus on creating the reality that you want, because when we all do that, that's how we get the dreams and the wishes coming true. The 9 of Cups is emotional fulfillment, dreams and wishes coming true. Can't say fairer than that. But you need to focus on the dreams and the wishes and not focus on what other people are thinking. This is about you. Happy families with your family, your new spiritual direction, your new spiritual adventure, your dreams and wishes. And by helping others through example, not your opinion. Your opinion has never changed anything, but your example will change everything. Oh, I'm going to leave it at that. That was quite nice. Say that again, Deb. Your opinion isn't going to change anything, but your example will change everything. Wow. Thank you for your positive example. I love you all. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.